Good morning, Gloucester. It's the GloucesterCast 372, if you can believe it. 372.
No, I can't.
I guess.
I can't.
I know.
Those are three numbers I would not play.
We have the audio fixed. I think we're going to start getting some feedback from our friends. Hopefully, Pat is on the keyboard. Say hi, Pat.
Good morning, Gloucester.
Ralph DiGiorgio is with us. Somebody is playing the thing.
Good morning, Gloucester. What a great day today is. Chris McCarthy's not here. So, happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And my friend Jimmy Dalpiaz is here.
Hey, good morning, Gloucester. I'm going to try and do Chris's job, and I don't have a theme song yet. I'm working on it. Let's see what I could.
There you
Let
go.
me see what I could do for a theme song.
And Kim is with us.
And Pat, we skipped over.
No, I said Pat
No,
originally.
we
That was
didn't.
first.
I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't have it. Good morning, Gloucester.
So,
Jim, I have an opener for you. You could give it the wolf whistle. Hey.
oh,
We'll
boy.
It
work
looks
on
like
that,
we have
okay?
about a dozen people on board with us today.
Oh, boy. Today
We-
feels a little rough.
We had some problems last week. People were telling us that, they couldn't hear certain things, and we were just really working on the microphones and thought it was that. But actually what it was we had a couple of switches turned off on the soundboard, in the brand new soundboard. Because when it was over, Scotty Mac came up. It was Joey, Scotty Mac, and I was here for a while. We were testing it and found out we didn't have switches
So
on.
what you're trying to say is you need to turn the power on, Jim, to the soundboard.
The soundboard, Scotty Mark, thankfully, but it was. So I'm gonna actually. Maybe I should put it on directly on the board.
Actually, I'm going to take a picture of the board so we remember next time.
So I'm gonna transition so people can see what we're dealing
Our
with.
fancy, beautiful board there.
So this is our board, and there's a bazillion, which it looks very intimidating, and it was very intimidating. But I think we have the thing dialed in. So Steve says, I'm gonna bump up the sound then. If Steve Reed says the sound is low, let's see. I'm gonna go right here. I can bump up the sound a little bit for everybody, and I think that would be much more, much louder. So everybody just they can let us know if that's better. Brenda says it's perfect. I think it's perfect. From what I'm seeing on levels, it looks like it's perfect.
It's a business.
Ralph, thank you so much for bringing the coffees this morning from Cape Ann Coffee.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
And
much.
table.
Thank you,
That was
Ralph.
nice.
Delicious. Very good
Yes.
coffee there at Cape Ann Coffees, by the way.
You're welcome.
They do. They're,
I actually
right up there.
I worked very hard in the drive-through today.
Well, somebody had to do it because we were here throwing
There was
mics
a
all
truck
over the
in
place.
front of me that I had to wait. And there were people behind me. They had to wait. It was a lot of effort that I put into getting coffee this morning.
Yeah. No, I tell you right now, I appreciate when people bring stuff. We're in a hiatus with Mom's Kitchen right now.
When is Mom's Kitchen reopening?
We're thinking,
It's supposed to be next Sunday.
is it supposed to be on Sunday?
The weekend.
Yeah.
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 I
So
thought I remembered the weekend also,
Okay.
yes.
Really?
I want to say the
That's gonna
4th.
be- that's gonna be fun.
I should text them, and we could get an over the air update. I wonder if they're listening this morning. Maybe they'll chime in.
Let's hear it from Mom's Kitchen.
Oh, let's hear it.
Good job.
Very good. Nice work. Nice work on the soundboard, though. So Christmas was this past week. How is everyone? Okay, I'm gonna go around and say I'm happy it's over. I'm sad it's over. Starting with Ralph.
You're going to ask me that question? My favorite day of the year is January 2nd.
January 2nd.
Yeah.
After New Year's.
Everything.
Too.
I was a fresh start. Brand new year. Everything's done, over. And my wife took down all the decorations yesterday.
God bless her.
House looks
I love
like
the
it's
move.
the middle of the summer.
I love the move. Jimmy, where are you at?
Yeah, I'm happy it's over. It's it's kind of in a way. Sometimes it's sad when you're pulling the tree apart and everything. You kind of said, this season's over with. But then when it's all done, yeah, let's move on.
Matt?
I'm definitely glad we're done.
I'm so in the minority.
I-
it's still going on in our house. Don't forget, we have a little 2-year-old.
Well,
Oh,
that's
So
a
that's
big-
different. That's
That's
the
a-
difference.
That's a
So-
basic difference.
And a melancholy too, because that means my daughter, she's leaving. She's leaving this afternoon. So
Oh,
yeah.
maybe. I'm in the camp with Ralph and these guys because it's stressful to me.
Yeah.
It's
It's
stressful.
stressful. It's stressful for my
The
husband.
gifting is the thing that
It's stressful for my husband.
stresses me out. The gifting.
Well, it's not just the gifting. It's you find yourself spending money for no reason.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, whether it's food,
Mhm.
whether it's gifts, whether you're just constantly spending money on stupid stuff,
Ungodly amounts of money.
ungodly amounts of money,
Yeah.
and it's a waste.
Yeah, like roasts. Felicia, I mean, I can't imagine what Felicia spent. Like,
It's the
Felicia could feed a small country for what.
yeah,
I call it the end of the year mom production.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good way to
Okay.
say it.
That's what it is, really.
I do not. I'm happy. Well, also my vacation time starts January 1. So.
Let's
And it's so wonderful how helpful they are and how much they participate. I mean, it just makes things so easy and
I am
fun.
enjoying my
Yeah.
grown-up kids
Yeah, it's
in a
really-
different way.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes.
it's so fun the way they lend a hand.
I'm going to take a
and
page out of the Chris McCarthy book of holidays. It's too much niceness going on that side of the room. Let's talk about the miserable, the family fighting.
Do you know-
How no one likes that aunt, no one gets along with that cousin. How this person's a jerk. I hate coming over here. I'm
Yeah,
never
we
doing it
can-
again.
yeah, we can-
Next year I'm
Well,
going on
You
vacation.
know, like, and
That's
then-
going to be
and
ours next weekend.
And then you have like who you like. You have to go to different families' things, and you have to make it fair. And it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
to,
that's
like
very
and
challenging.
to try to make other people happy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
Did you ever
difficult.
see the movie Four Christmases? You should watch that movie.
I kind of love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good
I didn't
movie.
think I was going to like it, but I
it's
did.
about that. It's about two families break apart. So this wife gets remarried and the husband gets remarried, and this, it's really
that's
fun. And there's a couple that lies about having to go overseas or something for the Peace Corps to help out. But they're really just going on an island to get away from all the families. That's
love
kinda me.
I love Christmas songs like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers song "It's Christmas All Over Again" because they have a lot of very witty lines about like long distance relatives. I'm happy to see him, but I don't want to kiss him and stuff like that.
Well, unfortunately, Kim, we're gonna have to wait another 362 days.
There was a couple of songs that Scotty Mac turned us on to that were like completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
That were probably.
I had
really-
one too that I found that was a good one.
That was
What was the one that you had?
That was the
Country music song. I'm
no,
sure.
the Backdoor Christmas.
Backdoor.
Yeah, that was a good one.
oh boy. But I do love that the pictures, like Joe, your family pictures.
People
you
seem
put up
to
for Christmas.
Yeah,
that
people
was,
like those. People like to see the growth in the kids.
Yeah.
I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, so family shots. Of course, Ralph's were just all Italian table. Everyone's leaning in over their plate of food. That was his family shot. But that's okay. That's what we know.
It's all about the food.
You better believe it.
The gifts come second.
I agree with you on the food part, no question. I just, yeah. And so in my house, there was some channel, and I want to fucking drop cable for this. Non-stop Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, and Elf.
Oh, I know.
We were played every single night that I got home. It was on. I'd get home from work at like 6 o'clock,
That's evil.
and it was playing until 8:30, and I had no say in it.
So various kids were watching it at different times.
No,
No.
Kate and Connor, just Kate and Connor.
My
That's it.
wife watched Elf probably 8 times the week before Christmas.
Is Elf the one with Will?
Will
Will
Ferrell,
Ferrell,
which
yeah.
it's a great
It
show.
is a great movie.
When you see it once, it's really great.
Yeah.
Once a year, I can do once a year,
Once
but
a year.
that's why I'm so. That's why I'm so.
I play the Muppets Christmas Carol on repeat.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that one in a
Oh,
while.
it's really
I should
good.
probably put that into the mix and maybe string out my
It's
misery.
neat. You could do that.
So let me ask you this question: is everybody happy with what they received for gifts this year?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very pleased.
Yeah.
I'm very.
Oh,
well,
yes.
my mother wasn't happy with what I got. I'm not going to say what I got her, but she wasn't very happy with what I got her.
Oh.
And I thought I did something nice, but she wasn't
You know what? I think that's why it's still so stressful for my husband, because it was always his mom unhappy with her Christmas presents, and so to this day he still has anxiety.
I have this
Christmas.
balancing act with my daughters. So my daughters, like, if they communicate with me what they want,
Right.
I'll go get it.
You'll go get
Done.
it. Right.
Done and done.
Right.
The last couple of years, they're like, they don't tell me what they want.
And
They're,
then-
they're like, I want money. And then at the last minute, they say, well, there's certain little things that medium-sized things that I want. So I'm in this tug and thing to make it fair between the two children, what you
Mhm.
spend,
Right.
the money, and then them also having stuff to open, because
Right, stuff to open.
Connor's going to have a million little things.
Right. Right.
And they may be like junky toys or whatever they
Whatever,
happen to be,
right.
good toys and little
Right.
toys, but whatever, a bunch of little
He's gonna
things.
have a bunch. Right.
And what they want may cost more, and it's like this. I'm like, oh, I'm so stressed out that they're not going to be happy if they don't get like
Yeah.
what they want. But I'm still spending a ton of money, but it doesn't translate. I don't know, whatever. That's what freaks me out.
Tell me about Felicia's thing. Did she love her thing? What you
She
did
seemed
for-
to like it. Yeah, she hasn't cooked on it yet. The fire disc.
Yeah.
It's this a round disc with a propane. It's very simple, but like big time overbuilt. It's like a big plancha, where you could cook unbelievable paella. You can fry in it.
But it's something for outside.
Yeah, it's for outside. Yeah.
Oh, you have to show me a picture of that.
Oh, you know what?
Awesome.
My son got me a trail camera, and I can't
Oh.
wait to set it up.
I'm dying. I've wanted a trail camera.
Yeah.
The motion trail camera.
Yes,
something
yes.
moves to take
We
the pictures.
experimented with it at home and in New
So
York, and I
fun.
brought it here, and I can't wait to
This
set
is
it
gonna
up.
pay big dividends for Good Morning Gloucester.
So
Well,
now
let's
I
hope
can't,
so.
So
I
fun.
can't
Let's hope
sneak out
so,
any-
yeah.
You're gonna bait them. You're gonna put like peanut butter
Oh.
crackers or like
No,
apples.
I don't know whether I'm going to need to. We get a lot of,
Oh, that's
I don't know,
Oh,
but that's a thought.
Yeah. No, you want a lot of activity.
Yeah.
Kim, that video that you put, the log,
Oh yeah, wasn't that wonderful?
if anybody hasn't seen it yet,
People
this
loved
is
it, right?
this is the
Yeah,
idea
yeah.
of it's a trail cam. That's what that guy trail cam. And over the course of a year, he just kept in a file all of the woodland creatures that would go, bears, like everything from like
there was a cougar, right?
Yeah.
A mountain lion. I mean, it was.
We'll have to
just-
put
it
that
was
trail
amazing.
camera in Chris's bathroom.
Chris and Russ are on a cruise.
On a cruise out of Miami on the Carnival cruise.
Carnival cruise, and it looked to me, Kate had the perfect response.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sent pictures, and the
Yeah.
picture was this tiny little pool and about 1,000,
2,500 passengers.
2,500 passengers, all elbow to elbow, like no space. And
Right.
Kate's response was norovirus.
No.
Right.
That's it, just norovirus, and
Right.
that summed up the whole scene.
Exactly.
It looked.
I wouldn't be
It
surprised
looked
if
horrific.
they didn't call in today.
I hope that they would call in. I have the technology to get that. If people would actually download Skype, I can actually put their half. I can go half cam, and put them into the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pickle up Myron Lapine's pickles. We'll give Myron a shout out. Myron, where can people get your pickles? Type it in, and we'll give you a shout out where they can get
This
your
is-
Mars pickles.
Speaking about Christmas presents.
Tory Birch,
This
bad.
is my new Tory Birch Christmas present.
Oh, it's
And
such a
you
pretty
knew you
color.
were getting it.
I'll put it in front of the
Okay.
camera.
What a nice
Plus-
color.
Plus, it has this inside section,
Hold on one
like
second.
an
I'm gonna
inside
try.
canvas section where I can put all my little cameras, like an extra lens cap, lens cleaner, all that
Oh,
kind of
nice.
stuff. Yeah, and
Nice.
it comes in and out as well.
Here's this bag. Tory, you got to see the Tory bench. So there's wow, there's all kinds of sections. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
like this.
look at this
Hopefully a
section.
tampon doesn't fall out.
No, but look at the canvas section in the middle, right? I put all my camera stuff in there. Like.
Very nice bag, Kim.
Yeah, is that nice?
Yeah, Kim.
And-
Kate's a big Tory Birch fan.
Yeah, and plus, look, it has this cross body shoulder strap.
Oh.
The shape is a little different. I like it.
Yeah, I
For
like the body
$1,000,
shape.
I'll give you if you can pull out a kitchen faucet.
What was that show?
Let's
Yeah,
make a
what
deal.
was that
Let's
show?
make a
Yeah, that's it.
You know, when I was designing,
I think it was
when I was doing
$1,000.
interiors,
No, I
there
know.
was a time when there was
$50.
a kitchen faucet.
That's it.
That's a great idea.
Have we got any feedback on the audio? Because
Most people are saying
I do.
Stephen
Steve
earlier
Reed's the
said
only one that says the audio isn't good. All right, well, here's an audio check.
a couple of comments were that the sound was good
Okay.
earlier. Yeah.
So let's do an updated
Station
sound
identification.
check. No, I want people to chime in and tell us how the audio is, because I do have the ability to make micro adjustments on that.
Yes.
You
Joey
have
Foote,
a-
one of our regulars, has joined us, so we get that going for us. How's Joey? How you doing? Oh, Joey says the audio is good,
Mm-hmm.
Great.
so that's great. That's what we wanted to
Thanks
hear.
for the feedback.
So Joey, we have so Joey Foote several times kept asking us about what is happening at Trio, and we finally have an answer. Pat spoke with a Trio employee, and I'm going to let you take it from here.
Yeah, Jim and I had perhaps one of the last dinners at Trio.
We had the last
And,
supper at the trio.
I don't know, now it was a couple weeks ago, but we spoke with one of the employees about the upcoming changes, and he thought that they would be maintaining much of the staff, and that the general atmosphere would be about the same. The menu was going to change some, but there were no specifics about that. And
The new sign is up.
the new sign is up. Oliver's Harbor is the name of
Restaurant
the new
and bar.
restaurant and bar. Thank you.
Is it new owners?
Yeah, I believe.
So I think the building is still owned by the previous owner,
Right.
and I think that the
management is
new
different.
person that's running it or owns the business or is running the business
Okay.
is the former chef of the Franklin.
Oh, well, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
no, yeah.
And he thought it would be a pretty quick reopening, so. we'll wait
So they're
and
not
see.
going through a heavy renovation. They're just
Correct.
gonna
That's-
basically-
It didn't need a big reservation. That room was one of the nicest rooms in town.
it's
Yeah.
just nice.
It's,
Yeah.
I mean, one of.
Mhm.
As far as watching sports, there's not a better setup in town with all those televisions.
There should be no reason the wall by that place doesn't succeed with those outdoor tables and parking. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
who else, nobody else has that on Main
When are they
Street,
supposed to
right?
open?
Kim, I agree with
I
you
don't know.
100%.
I don't know.
That's one of the life's biggest mysteries. All last year they had the $3, anything on tap was $3, including Guinness, which is like normally $6 anywhere else. They had a great space, and the owner, who owns Azorian, is packed every single
Right,
night,
the Azorian is, right?
and Trio just couldn't get it going. And we enjoyed it. The times that we went, we enjoyed
We
it.
loved it there, yeah.
So I don't know what the deal was. I do know that I would. I'm looking forward to checking out what they do there.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Nice
yeah,
spot.
definitely.
So it's going to be called Oliver's Harborside?
No, Oliver's
Harbor.
Harbor.
Harbor, okay.
Restaurant and bar.
Yeah, and
Liv wants to have a lobster restaurant. She's going to call it the Blobster. So you can just blob and eat lobster. The Blobster.
nice. Yeah, Jimmy. So what do you think?
Of the the new place.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great that they're keeping it the same.
More or less, I mean.
Yeah, that we can still go and sit at that bar and catch some games, and
Yeah.
sounds like they're doing the same thing. And if the quality of food, though it wasn't bad, really wasn't bad, but if it's this new chef and
If it's Franklin quality, then.
No, I think
We'll
they.
see, we're
Did you say
speculating,
that
but
they,
yeah.
That's really nice.
did they say it'd be more of an Italian bent? Did you hear that?
He did not say.
You did not hear.
It-
No,
there
he
was
just-
no.
I don't want to
I
speculate.
Right,
No,
and I don't
no.
think he knew.
no, he just said that he said the kitchen staff is going to change.
Well, let's put it out there for the new owner and the new chef that is going to open the Oliver's.
If they want,
Reach out to us,
if they want to
and
be
we'll
smart,
bring you in, and we'll talk about it.
if they want to be smart and have us in, we'll live stream from there.
And we will
Awesome.
taste test many items
Mhm.
that we would like to bring in.
Well, even if we just get to talk to him, Steve Reed is telling me that the volume is too low.
Every
My
other
phone
person,
is maxed,
every other person is saying the volume is awesome. Every other person.
and he said texted with my wife Kim, and she agrees. Turn it up.
Every other person. Kathy McCarthy says it's perfect. Brenda
My
Grimes
My
says
wife
it's
just
perfect.
said, "I am
Perfect.
struggling to hear you."
Your wife too?
Oh.
That's what my
Is-
wife.
is
My
she
wife's
on a
not
phone?
doesn't lie.
Maybe it's a phone versus a computer thing.
Well,
I don't know.
maybe,
Every other person.
but
says
but
it.
I think we should turn it up and
Turn it
give
right.
the people the option to turn it down.
Right.
Because if
Alright.
they max, then it's max.
All right,
So
we're gonna turn it up.
let's
it up.
turn this puppy
So
up.
That's the game right there.
Right there, we're gonna turn everybody's going up.
All right, Kim and Steve, how was that? Please let me know.
Yeah, everybody's up right now. I got everything. Everybody going up. Yeah.
Yes, she said.
All right, I think we're
Okay,
gonna.
good.
I think we're gonna blow people's ears out.
Yeah.
But
No, they can turn it
They can
down
turn
if they
it
need
down.
to.
yeah, there you go. There we go. We're up. We're up across the board. Maybe that. You know what? This is all fine tuning. So I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Jim sounds perfect. She said, of course Jim sounds perfect. Because Jim is perfect.
Thank you.
Well, you're not
Thank you,
speaking close. See how close to the mic, which I've said to you a
Well,
million
I am
times?
not going to put my mouth on the mic.
You don't have to be on the
Much
mic.
better. My wife said much better.
All right.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you,
Steve.
Kim. Sound check girl.
Oh, you know what? Maybe over here I can turn my my headphone volume down so I'm not getting blown.
Maybe that's what it is. Your headphone volume is up.
That
and
could be
you
it.
think y'all hearing it fine, but the rest of the world is. It's only taken us 372 shows
Episodes to get to this point.
Close to
All right.
being correct.
All right, I like it.
All right, let's
Hi,
get
Posy.
iPosy. Oh,
Our buddy Tani.
Our buddy Tani. Joe and I and the ladies went to iPosy last night for a nice dinner. Let's start off.
Where's iPod?
iPosy's in Danvers on Main Street. Is it Main Street, Danvers?
I think so.
But,
It's
yeah,
diagonally across from Brothers, the big.
Yeah. So it's one of our favorite places. It's in our rotation. Excuse me. Joe and I were discussing on Christmas Eve morning going out this weekend, and Joe suggested, "Oh, let's go back to iPosy because Joe really, really likes these little homemade raviolis that Tiny makes, stuffed with veal in a brown butter sage pistachio sauce.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just they're amazing.
There's no one on the North Shore.
Makes them as good as
You
Tiny.
think because Tom and I, our anniversary is Monday.
Go.
Go.
So there.
Go.
Yeah.
So,
Happy anniversary.
Do
How
it.
many?
Here's the only thing. The only thing is, it's the portions are, you gotta be, like, I ordered the beef carpaccio.
Okay,
Yeah.
Joe. You
It was-
ordered 3 entrees for an appetizer.
That's not true.
Okay, you did
They were
it.
all off of the appetizer menu. The duck was the only thing that was an entree. Everything else was not an
Well, you don't need to. Okay, 2 entrees, 2 appetizers. You don't need to order 2 appetizers. But let's go back a couple steps. Let's talk about how we got there.
Everything. I wanted everything because it was everything like.
All right, we're going to take a couple steps back because I
ahead.
want everybody to hear the true story.
Go
So
ahead.
Christmas Eve morning, we're having cocktails at the Nest.
Yep.
And Joe said, "We're available this Saturday. Let's go out to dinner." Great. So I said, "Where do you want to go?" He says, "iPosy." Oh, fine. Fast forward to 2 days before I want to make a reservation. I make reservations. I don't like going anywhere without a reservation because I don't like to walk into a restaurant and then say, "Oh, well, it's an hour wait or it's a half hour wait." It's just, I want to have a reservation.
Especially on a Saturday.
I'm very proactive when it comes to dining. Okay, let's get that
Smart
off
guy.
the table.
Proactive dining.
So I said
like
to
it.
Joe, "What time do you want to go to dinner?" He says, 5 o'clock. I said, "There's no freaking way in hell I'm going to dinner at 5 o'clock. The restaurants, the help isn't even there yet." And he wants to go for, "Okay, fine, 5:30. I said, "No, I'm not going at 5:30. All right, 6 o'clock. I said, "Fine." I made reservations for 6:30. We were still the only people in the restaurant at 6:30.
Really?
But that's fine. And then people started filtering in. So now we sit down after we have a drink.
Yeah,
And-
which was great because I like to eat the way Ralph eats because Ralph will take and he will have a drink. Have an
Order an appetizer.
order appetizer, and then order your meal. Which is unlike me. I am in the wrong 100%. I always like order. Where's the food? Where's the food? Where's the food? Pound down the food, and you're $150 later. You're 35 minutes. I'm in and out, and I drop
Well, the
out.
mistake that most people make when they dine is they do that. They'll I'll have the beef carpaccio, and I'll have whatever fish or steak or whatever. But after they have their appetizer, they sit there and go, "Oh wow, that was delicious. I ate a lot more than I thought I was going to eat. Now I got to eat a steak."
A big meal.
Right. So after you finish your appetizer, you take a second to digest and figure out, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to have the steak now. Maybe I'm just going to have a piece of fish or maybe another appetizer because I'm stuffed. That's why I dine the way I do. Plus, my wife doesn't eat fast. She likes to enjoy a meal. So, but I do eat food fast when I get it. But this is the way I like to dine. So anyway, we had the veal ravioli with the brown butter sage sauce. God. Tani makes me these little clams, and he sautés them in a white wine garlic broth.
Was that an appetizer?
It's not. Well, they have a clam and mussel appetizer. It is, and it comes in the frying pan, and it's clams and mussels in this sauce. And I just sit there, and the clams, the littlest. And I had that. Joe and Kate shared the beef carpaccio and the raviolis, and my wife had her usual salad. And then for dinner, what'd you have, Joe?
I was talked into the duck, and it was phenomenal. But I was gonna just order a salad, but I so Kate, you probably didn't know what was going on at the time. So
was there something going on above the table or below the table?
Below the table.
Oh, damn it! How did I miss that?
So
my wife usually picks up on everything.
So Tani's wife suggested the duck. I was just going to get the salad. Tani's wife suggested the duck. And there's this kind of okay, are you going to order the duck? I suggested the duck. You should probably eat the duck. And I was kind of full, but they made this duck sound like you got to try the duck. So Kate knocked me under the table, and I took it as get the fucking duck because they want you to eat the duck.
This is good.
And
I'm hearing this for the first time.
No, I know. So I took it as get the fucking duck because they want you to get the duck for something. You got to eat the duck. So I get the duck, and it is everything that they said it was going to be.
You have a picture of it.
I do. Yeah, I got to do the post. But I was like, I had eaten the beef carpaccio when it came out.
Yeah, it was a platter.
It was a platter that could have fed 6. It was an appetizer portion for 6. The raviolis was like a dinner portion of raviolis.
He gave you 2 dinner portions for appetizers. He did.
Right, and which is very generous and unbelievable of Tani. But here I am. I just misunderstood my wife, who knocked me under the table. Like,
what did she mean?
Get the fucking duck. She's like, no, just order what you want to order. If you're stuffed, just get the salad.
Oh, okay.
So
Don't be talked into it.
So wait a second, you got knocked under the table, and you couldn't read what that was.
I didn't know
Where do you think you're going with this, James?
I'm just trying to.
It was.
I think I was a little confused myself. I thought there was a little something under the table action going on, and in front of my wife and I. That was really
with all that food and
not really
everything else, and there's a little knock under the table. I just thought it was a
So
message.
she was basically saying, don't let anybody force you into your decision. Be a man, strap on a set of nuts, and pick what you want for dinner. So
that's
what it meant.
That's exactly.
But in any event,
it was. The
food was
phenomenal.
My wife and I had the filet with.
I hope they're open on Monday.
With the broccolini and his roasted. His roasted. I probably shouldn't say this. My wife probably won't eat them ever again. But his roasted potatoes, he fries them in duck fat.
Oh God,
they are absolutely.
And he's the only
amazing.
chef.
He's the only chef. He's a one-man band. He has support. He has someone helping cleaning and getting him supplies. But he is he'll cook for 100 people by himself there, and he won't even break a sweat.
Yeah, it's a family outfit, so I'm not sure if they would be open on Monday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know his hours, but he's typically closed Sundays. I know that.
I have to check into that. I want to. What?
No, I was just going to say, Ipazi, great hidden gem.
Yes.
On the North Shore.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before, but it's worth repeating.
It's one of our favorite places.
And okay, so for Ralph to say it's one of our favorite places, that's all you need to know.
Right.
Honestly, that's all you need to know.
Top.
We take Ralph's recommendations very seriously. Yes.
It's a great segment, Ralph. It really is a great segment. I'm going to focus right now. I'm going to go over to this cam right here. Behind me. Oh, wow, I nailed it. This clock that's behind me.
The lobster clock.
The lobster clock was a gift.
Was that the old one?
What's that? No, that was never here. That was a gift from Joanne from Good Linens, who is, I guess, is a lurker of the blog. And
That's so sweet.
loves the blog, loves what we do, and wanted to give us something in appreciation for everything that we do for blog.
I have a question.
Thank you
very much. I have a question. Does the tail?
It does, and there's
Wag.
no battery in it. I didn't put the battery. I haven't got the battery yet.
Oh, that'll be so cute when it does that.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of ass shaking with that.
There's a lot of tail.
There's a lot of tail shaking.
Brenda Grimes Davis is wondering about the prices at the restaurant. What you might want to say about that?
It's not cheap. It's not over the top. It's in the middle. I would
Okay.
have to say that would be my assessment.
Mhm.
I'll put it to you this way: you definitely get what you pay for,
Yes,
and that's the way I like to dine.
yeah. Great call.
Because there's a lot of places that will say they'll advertise a filet mignon for whatever $23.95, but it's not the quality. You get all of the product that he brings in is the highest and best quality that money can buy, and you have to expect to pay for that.
The portions are large.
The portions are fantastic.
Yeah.
You're
going to go home
and
with food.
what we didn't discuss is his wife makes all their homemade gelato,
Oh my goodness! Wow.
and it's some of the best you've ever had. I'll put it to you this way: some of the finest places in town serve their gelato.
Oh, I didn't know that. They went out with it. So, if you go, I would say definitely plan on either you go hungry. Be hungry when you go there, and you can share an app. The appetizer is so big. You can if you go with a couple of couples, you could get a couple of appetizers, and
And don't be afraid to try anything, because everything
everything's
is
great.
good.
Felicia would like you to talk about Christmas Eve meatballs.
Oh, Felicia, thank you.
We were supposed to talk about those meatballs.
Oh, Felicia, thank you so much for that. That is because we yeah.
Felicia's meatballs.
No, Richie Barisi.
Oh, that's right, Richie. You said that last night. Richie made a tray of meatballs.
Richie, his meatballs. So I think that I'm surprised because usually Felicia's very territorial with her food, like that no one can make
Do you think?
things as good as her. And she straight up will tell you these were the best meatballs she's ever had.
I didn't know
That's
that.
a big
I
thing
didn't
for
know that
Felicia.
that
Felicia
evening. I would have
doesn't
tried
like-
them.
She doesn't generally, she's a tough critic, let's put it that way. And she, over the top, every person that came through that night and had tried Richie Barisi's meatballs.
Will he share the
So
recipe?
let's talk about this for a second, because we have been talking about meatballs on this show
Oh, God,
for how many weeks now?
it's trouble.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we were going to have a meatball off, and then we argued about the judges, and Felicia and I insisted that we would be judges, and you kicked us to the curb, and then I said, well, then why don't we have Felicia, myself, and Safatia as judges, and then you started bashing Safatia, and then...
I said that she doesn't like spicy food, and it's hard to have a judge that doesn't
Joe,
like
it's too
spicy
late.
food.
It's already recorded what you said. So you kind of, and then the whole meatball thing was supposed to happen, and that fell by the wayside, and now we have Richie's meatballs, and here we are, come full circle, and we still don't have anything.
I need a date. I need a confirmed date from James Eves. James has had a lot on his plate.
They had the wedding.
The daughter just got married, so
Yeah.
their head has been in the closet. Both of them have been sick at one time or another. So I'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get a date.
All right, so let's talk about Richie's meatball. What makes Richie's meatball so special?
He puts 3 different meats in them. He's
Okay.
veal, pork,
and beef.
and beef, I believe.
Yeah.
But he
that
also
really
puts a
makes a
bunch of different fresh ingredients as well. So it's not just meat. He puts.
Do you know what those ingredients are?
I don't.
Okay.
But I appreciate
Why
it.
won't anybody share the recipes?
Well, because
so
recipes for meatballs are held close to the vest.
Yeah.
Most of them are family tradition. People don't like. I'm gonna tell you right now, my wife makes an unbelievable meatball, and I think she just created it on her own. I don't think she had a family secret or anything. But I have my way of making meatballs, and she has her, and they're totally opposite.
Totally different.
So never shall the two meatballs meet.
I gotta,
No, I feel like
I have to
if
show a
Ken
picture.
Duckworth can share his lobster risotto recipe, then people can share their meatball recipe.
Yeah, people just don't like sharing recipes. It's one of those things. I don't like sharing my recipes.
All right, I'm gonna go right here to. I'm gonna transition in so people can see.
What are we looking at?
We're gonna see Kate and Connor on the way
To the Patriots game.
to the Patriots game right there.
That's a video that they have.
Yeah,
They're just showing a still
I'm just showing
picture.
a still picture because they're all fired up. I'm psyched for them that they're going.
Yeah, they're very excited.
Paul
Kate,
says
pay
it's
attention
like
on the road,
sharing
please.
your honey hole fishing spot. You never tell how you make them.
See?
Hey,
And
Paul
Felicia
Gamble.
says moist, fresh, delicious, and huge.
If Charlene Ellis McCarthy was listening to what Felicia had to say, she'd be cringing.
Charlene does not like the word moist.
And
It's the most hated word in the
You know,
vocabulary.
there's other. I've heard other. I heard a whole riff on that somewhere on a show, on a comedy show.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The word moist?
We
Yes,
should
and how
let's
people-
make that for next week's topics. The word you
Cringy-
hate the
Cringy
most.
words?
Cringy
Cringy
words.
words.
The words you hate them. I know what my wife's word is, and I'm not going to say it, but
Oh, really?
yeah,
She has a
she has a
word?
couple of them,
She
but
has a
I'm
word?
not saying it.
All right,
I'll save it for next week.
Okay, here you go. All right, I'm going to talk about a product that I purchased last week, seeing as now I'm a vest guy, big vest guy. And
Is that your fancy vest?
Didn't you get an awesome vest for Christmas?
This is my. I did get a DM Civil vest, which I love. But for down the wharf right here, I bought this vest, and we were Kate and I were. Oh, right now, Feather and Wedge. Right now, you can go to at 10:00.
Oh, Felicia. I'm
They-
sorry.
So Felicia says some meatballs can be dry and hard. There you go. So anyway, we were at Feather and Wedge, and this woman came on with a vest, and it had a light up logo on it. And Kate knew what it was. I didn't. And as it turns out, they have these vests that are powered by like battery.
Battery charger.
Battery chargers.
A phone recharge.
Cell phone battery
Yeah.
backup chargers, right? So, come to find out, this lady who was of means was all in on this vest, all in, and she said no. Even she liked it so much she bought 18 of them for her siblings, for friends and relatives and siblings, because it was such a game changer for her. So I went online and I bought one. And I have to tell you, I agree 100%. So here's the battery,
Mm-hmm.
right? As it charges right here. And also, you can use these.
Did it come with that battery pack?
The one, okay, so I didn't purchase, the one that she purchased is $129. The one that I got, because I don't like, I like navy blue, and I bought this one, it was only $50. But it didn't come with a battery. So you can use, this one can use any battery pack. The one that she used had a proprietary charging unit.
Mm-hmm.
So this one right here, it also has a flashlight, but so I'm going to just stand up so people can see.
So what you
There's
put
People
in-
can see the whole.
No, there's a charging cable that comes out of the side.
Yeah.
This is a very lightweight battery. You plug it in, you stick it in your pocket, and it really doesn't weigh it in. It fits pretty good. You zip up the pocket, and it's pretty prolific. So you can do the
It's
back.
almost like a car seat.
Yeah.
Heated car
Yeah,
seat.
That's exactly the way it feels. There's 3 different levels.
What's the cold? Is it air conditioned too?
No, it doesn't air condition. But like, so if you go to the green, it'll last. But they say 10 hours. It's probably more like 8 hours. The red is the super hot, and you can do it in the
So
back.
I have a question. I think that the concept is valid, but if you need a heated vest, what about your extremities? How does that work?
It really. So I wear this under another jacket. It keeps your core warm enough that. Yeah, Ralph, I'm telling you honestly.
Wow, that's interesting.
it really, really is a game changer.
So you have one on. That's only on one side, right?
No, the battery is here, but the coil goes through the coils, and you don't even. I'm moving around. I don't even realize that there's a coil. There's a heating element in the neck.
Like an electric.
There's a heating element right here on your chest, and there's heating elements on your lower back.
Yeah, I've got one in my shopping cart based on.
Well, that would be nice if you could separate the heat. You know, sometimes when people are sore back,
so there's
can you make it just so the heat on your back?
Yes, that's what these two. One is the front and one's the back. It's $50. It's a no-brainer purchase.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put a link in so people can check it out.
And that's your consumer report of the day.
I'm already getting warm, so I'm gonna actually turn it off right now.
So, and it's lightweight.
Pull the plug, Joe.
I'm pulling the plug.
I thought you were supposed to pull the plug.
So I can't say enough about it. It's for $50.
Is it lightweight?
It's super lightweight, and I've spoken about this the last couple of podcasts. I'm now a vest guy because I've had jackets, and like you get in a car and you like with a jacket on, and you can't really move around.
Right.
I'm a big vest guy, and
You know, the battery pack looks like your James Bond, and you're going to open it up and take out a cigarette or something.
I used to have a down vest, and I wore
It's
it.
that size.
for down the wharf, I'll tell you.
That's right, because I don't want to see you wearing the DM Civil vest down while you're slinging
That's only for
fish heads.
That's only for church. I only wear that to church.
Church and high-end restaurants.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Very
right. Yeah.
There's not a lot of people in the world.
Now, if you get electric pants, they heat up other parts.
That would be but that's not good. You got to
No,
keep.
you don't want your.
You don't. You want your. You want your.
You don't want them to overcook.
Yeah, you like.
That's right.
It's almost like a dry meatball.
Something must have been overcooked with the hole that's in the pants that he has now.
You want
I know.
You want the huevos to be nice and.
I try to tell him about getting rid of those work pants.
Well,
it looks like I'm going to have to go to Bob's and buy him a new pair.
Oh, we're going to have to bury him. We'll have to bury him at sea.
They're very comfortable.
Of course they're very comfortable because you got a 4-foot hole in your crotch.
But
You get rid of the goddamn
Doesn't
pants.
he have stuff underneath? Doesn't he have like something?
Yeah, there's a fleece liner. You can't see the beans.
It's not the
You
point.
can't see the franken beans.
It makes people think. And Kim with her camera, she starts zooming in.
I'm gonna reply to Brenda. Brenda, it is washable. The little plug inside has a cap that you put over it, and it is washable.
Seriously, with all those coils in it, you can wash it?
You can wash it.
Wow.
They give you they give you a certain type of bag that you put it in, and the cap for the
For the charger.
Except you don't want to wear it outside in the rain, you'll electrify yourself.
I'll show people so that people can see.
Wow, that's so great.
The Brio, and I'm going to transition over to here.
So what brand
so people
did you
can
get,
see.
Joe?
So I'll put a link to it.
Now we
Kim.
do the
Okay.
pull.
So here's the thing, and
which
you-
we'll segue into.
You put that right into onto the cap, so that the cap doesn't get messed up.
See, imagine all those like scientists in the Arctic. I mean, wouldn't they love to have something like that?
Top of Mount Washington.
I think anybody that lives
In
in these
cold
kind of cold, and so the cool part too is, I bought that one battery. I also have a couple of extra batteries.
Those are great for recharging your phone in a pinch.
On top of it, you can recharge it while it's doing the other part. I mean, there's so many uses, and it also has a little flashlight, little LED flashlight.
Are you gonna get one?
Oh, it's
This
in my.
is
It's
ama-
already
this is
in my.
amazing. This is
Yes.
So that
I want to shout out to the
I
investors.
just had to wait
Thank
till
you very
Christmas
much.
went by.
And,
Scott-
and you can roast a tenderloin roast.
I'll
as well.
do. I don't have the
Everything's on
sound
super
effects
sale
here, and
right
I don't
now.
think
It's
you
really
do.
good.
But I'll do
I
it.
got
Ooh.
Oh, I think I have one of those. I gotta have a somehow.
number 6.
There it is.
All right, I just edged up Kim's mic. You get that.
What's next?
So we already talked about Mom's Kitchen. Rocky Neck Polar Plunge is
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day at 11 o'clock. I will be participating. I'm all in this year. And don't forget to bring some food, non-perishable food.
Food and checks.
Food and checks.
Food and
Which
checks.
reminds me, thank you. I need to bring some stuff over to Kathy.
Are you doing it, Jimmy? And George?
I'm not.
And Ralph?
No, I'm not this year. We will be away for New Year's Eve, so you will not see my fat, disgusting body in spandex this year.
Are you
Where is
doing
Chris?
it?
Is Chris going to be in this year?
No,
Oh, Chris is. Both of us are away.
Both of you guys
So-
are gone. I'm gonna be.
They play
Jimmy and I are gonna hold hands and
You going in, Jim?
wade into the water. He's in. He said he's in.
No, I don't. I didn't hear Jim say that. I heard Joe say that Jim is in. Jim, are you in?
I guess I'm in.
You heard it, folks. Jim Dalpiaz is
my God.
going
Oh,
You know,
under.
I wasn't sure if it was going to be the water or whatever, but Joey says he wants to hold my hand.
You've taken the place of Chris and I, and we want to applaud you for that.
I can never fill your
Shoes.
My
suit. My grape smuggler. Yeah, Joe made us wear last year was
Yeah.
incredibly embarrassing.
I can't fill those.
I can't wear those again.
No, I will never
I'm
wear
in
that
better
again.
shape now, so I could actually wear them. So there's that. We haven't done the Punch for Pleat recap. So,
yes.
So yesterday there was an
Overwhelming
army
amount of people.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I
My
saw
wife
the
and I
footage.
walked down, and we sat on the rocks across from the
in front of the Bass Rocks.
Bass
Beach Club.
Rocks Beach Club. We sat there and we looked across, and it was perfect. It was high tide, so the beach was a little shorter, and we got there about 1:45, figuring it was going to go off at 1:00, and people started coming over the bridge. It looked like crossing over the Mexican border. It was just people.
It did look like
Wow.
Waves and waves and waves and waves of people. And we got there had to be 200-300 people on the beach. And by the time it went off around 1:15, there had to be over 1,000 people.
Oh my God! Yes.
I don't know if they had an official head count.
I haven't
would love to
heard
hear
one.
that.
I haven't heard one,
But it was legitimately 1,000+ people.
Joey says over 600.
There was Todd
Angeli.
from the Boston Bruins sang the national anthem, which was awesome.
Oh,
They attempted to have a biplane skywriter, but it was so windy that when the plane sprayed, it just vanished. So that was too unfortunate. But it was a tremendous event. There was people.
So wait,
everywhere.
so
Yeah, there was one little snafu. The organizers really didn't tell the people exactly how it was going to work in time. They might have done it without us hearing it, but we could hear the loudspeaker. But all of a sudden, people just started running into the water, and then it was like, okay, it's time. But half the people are already in the water,
It was like
and then they came out,
yeah.
and then they said, "Whoop, you got to go back in."
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a mix-up, but you know what? It's for a great cause, and it was
I want to know
the final plunge for Pete.
Why did they choose Good Harbor? I mean, it's a great place. I mean, it's a great area. It's
Well,
big enough.
the family's from Beverly,
Correct.
and
Yeah, they've been doing it for all these 80, right? Haven't they been
Mhm.
doing it there?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the reason they're probably doing it is it probably has to do with the parking situation. They have that huge lot, and they can accommodate the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Visually, at what's it called, Cranes Beach, from where you park to where you have to get to the water is
Oh, right.
like it's a long
It's
walk.
a long one.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, some people did like a ice bucket challenge.
They had so Kate and I took a walk around the back shore yesterday, and right at the base of the footbridge, there was probably 100 5-gallon buckets, and they all said Aubuchon Hardware. So Aubuchon Hardware
donated the
donated
buckets.
them.
Yeah, they did that. It was an amazing turnout.
We were at dinner last night and we looked up and it was on the national news, which was awesome to see.
I heard that they're gonna. I heard that was the last one. They're not gonna do it again.
No, they're not. No,
Was Nicole there taking pictures? Was she there? Did you see her? 'Cause
Don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think she's someplace else.
Because she's very
Yes,
more involved
yes.
in that. I just
Well,
assumed she would
between
be
the
there.
drone shot that I saw and your film that you did, Ralph, I felt like I was there.
It was
It
a ton
just
of
covered
people. It was tough.
everything.
The drones were there was like a half a dozen drones up there, so it was pretty cool.
Oh, it was great. The Patriots. Oh, wait a second.
Patriots game, yep, today.
Patriots at 1.
I think we have Peyton Connor on assignment.
Do you know what the spread was?
I do not know what the
Okay,
spread
I'm
was.
gonna look at the spread.
This is a very important game.
Huge game because of it, if we lose this game, we could potentially not have the bye for the first week.
Correct.
Or home
Yes.
field advantage,
Right.
which is that's how the Patriots for I don't know how many years in a row have had home field
Yep.
advantage. I'm gonna look up Pat. I want you to talk about your new oven.
Oh, yes, you heard a little bit about renovations that we're doing. And I had ordered a new range. We have a gas range. This is in New York, at my home in New York. It our home in New York. And it's been a long time. I'm not a foodie or anything, so it's been a long time since we got a new one. And they delivered it, but they couldn't install it right away due to some sort of problem with the gas connection on the old stove. So I had 2 ranges sitting in my kitchen for like 10 days. Then, so I had to call the gas company, and the gas company came to install it. And then they wouldn't take the old one, so I still had 2 ranges sitting in my kitchen for like another week.
So
But the point I was going for here was how much the technology has changed since we got our last stove.
Oh my goodness.
This one combines convection with the gas heat. There's an internal connector for the meat thermometer. It's just amazing how the technology has changed in the years since we got our other one.
Your other one,
Yeah, I'll tell you that my car is 2013, 6 years old, and like I look at the dashboard of my truck compared to like new vehicles with the Apple Play and stuff. I'm so envious.
So buy a new truck.
Yeah.
My car is 2008.
Oh
So
yeah, you're
I'm
really.
gonna be really.
Wow, Kim.
You're really out
It
there.
has 170.
Is there a crank to start it in front of the grill?
It's a Prius from 2008, and I haven't, knock on wood, that car I was paid for in 3 years, and I haven't had a single repair on it.
Yeah.
And it has 170,000 miles on it. So
It's
That's-
time.
See, there you go.
that car
Yeah.
doesn't cost. I mean, knock on wood, it
It
doesn't cost.
it owes you nothing.
Right.
At this point, if it died tomorrow, it owes you
Right.
nothing.
Right.
107, because you go back and forth into Cambridge all the time.
Right. Right. I mean, honestly, like.
Hey, can you give us an update on the Briarwood Tavern there?
Oh, sure. Well, they have.
Okay, wait, explain where it is and what
Okay,
the premise
so
behind it was.
It's Briar Barn Inn, and it's my friend Briar Fondetti Forsythe's beautiful property. It has it now has a new spa, which I'm going to be going to in January. It has an art gallery. Briar's mom is an artist. Fabulous inn, and then the restaurant next to it. So the restaurant has. They're working out their different hours because they're open all the time for breakfast and stuff for the inn's guests, but they are often doing events, so the restaurant is working on their regular hours. So I'm not sure I can't say right now off the top of my head what their hours are, but it's a beautiful, beautiful inn and restaurant. So my friend Briar, her dad is Jerry Fondetti. Big architect in Cambridge. He designed the Kendall Hotel and the Mary Prentice Inn. Those are my clients. That's who I do work for all the time in Cambridge and Boston. And they also took over the property Willowdale Estate about 12 years ago. I think it was about that long ago. I'm not sure, but it was part of the Massachusetts State Conservancy program where private individuals can take over properties that the state owns that have fallen to rack and ruin. So they were going to originally run Willowdale as an artist retreat, but it cost $6 million to renovate. So that's why they turned it into a special events venue. And so Willowdale was so successful, and they had so many, people coming for weddings there that they needed someplace, a hotel, to put them. So that's why we have Briar Barn Inn now. So now
Is this the place in Rowley?
in Rowley.
So the Grove.
What?
Yes.
They call it the Grove.
That's Rowley?
Yeah, it's in Rowley.
They call it the Grove.
Right,
Rowley.
well, it's Briar Barn Inn, and then the restaurant is the
Paul
Grove.
Gambler
Yeah,
piped in,
yeah.
and he said that he was there recently, and he had the Cuban sandwich, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was open to the public to
Yeah,
eat.
yeah, oh yeah.
I've been trying to get there. My wife has been there, I believe.
Yeah,
I've
the,
been trying to get there. But I heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I know
So-
Stephen
well,
Kim
who-
went
the
for,
chef there is Benny Lightbody, or I think it's Benny Lightbody.
Excuse me,
Could
I
be
have to
Benny
take care of this
Lightbody.
boat.
Okay.
After you get done with this topic, I'd like you to go into the wildlife update, okay?
Oh.
Joe has to go to work.
I gotta go here. I gotta
So
take care of the boat.
he's the chef at Willowdale. So he's also he's the executive chef at Willowdale. Have you ever been to an event there? 'Cause the
No,
food
I
there
haven't
is
been
the
there.
food there is phenomenal. And so then Yeah, everything about it is beautiful, amazing. Charlotte Fondetti, Briar's mom, is an artist, so they've decorated each room just exquisitely, and everything about it is beautiful.
I know there are certain
Special.
days that you go there, you want to go for dinner like on a Saturday or Friday, but you can't because it's a function.
Right. So I think
So you have to check daily what.
you have to check daily, and they're working out the hours for the pub,
Right.
because they do have room to have functions there. So they have weddings at Willowdale. So then smaller weddings are now taking place at the inn. So it's just different hours, and I'm not sure how it's eventually all going to pan out. So.
Yeah, I've been wondering about that too. So thank you for that update.
Yeah. So now Joey wants to talk about wildlife update.
Your wildlife update. I'm ready to hear.
All right.
I'm listening.
So yesterday, I know that we haven't had as many snowy owls. I don't think as we have in previous years, but there are 2 at Parker River right now. One at Salisbury. And so yesterday I had my first snowy owl sighting of the season.
Good for
and
you.
He was so far away, there was like a mass of people standing on one of the dikes at Parker River. And so I came up and I said, "Is it a snowy?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, it's a snowy. You see that little tiny white dot down
Way
at
out
the
there.
horizon?" And it was. It looked like a little boy because his face was a little bloody. It was the end of the day, so it looked like he just
had lunch.
Yeah, he just had like late afternoon snacks. So he looked happy and healthy. And unfortunately, there was like a rope going across the dike, keeping people from getting too close. So he was just very content, just sitting there. And then we also saw a beautiful juvenile red-tailed hawk that I think was injured because it almost flew into a car. It was not really a good thing, but there were tons of people stopping to take photographs of him, and he just stayed and stayed. Like, he was there at the refuge, at the beginning of the refuge when we got there, and then drove down, did stuff, walked around, came back, and he was still in the same spot.
But how is the crowds? Are they respectful,
Yes,
or this
yes.
is something new? Because you've talked about that before, that some people don't.
Well, like there was one doofy guy. He was standing under the red-tailed hawk,
There's always
taking
one
pictures
goofy
of
guy.
it with a flash. So of course that was like every time the flash went off, the red-tailed hawk went like, you know what I mean? And, and then in my pictures, when I zoomed in, you can see that he's injured. Where something's going on his warblers.
Oh.
And that was beautiful to see. They do winter over around here. So we're having some, I think it's starting to heat up a little bit, like with the winter shorebirds that are arriving, and
I had a
the
white
predators.
bucket sighting at
Ooh.
Parker River recently.
Wow.
One beautiful but very windy day, I went down to Parker River looking for the snowies.
Yeah.
Ran into some other people who were also looking, and I went up one of the boardwalks down, heading toward the beach, and off in the dunes I see this white spot, and I looked and I walked up, and then I came back and I looked at it again, and I got my camera out, zoomed the lens in, but the wind was blowing, and it's on a monopod, but so it was a little hard to keep it steady, so it was a little blurry. I zoomed in, and honestly, I said, "Oh my God, it's a snowy," and I'm here all by myself, nobody anywhere, and I'm just looking around going, somebody's got to be here someplace. Click, 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 click. Finally get a clear picture, and it's a white bucket sitting in the dew.
I think we've all been tricked like that before. Because any white wedge in the
sitting out there
is very disturbing. So that's funny though.
It was disappointing.
Right.
But
No,
There's
I've done
our
that before.
wildlife update.
I love it.
yeah.
Joe, don't forget, I have to shout out to my sister-in-law.
Oh yeah.
right.
We need to speak
Because
about
we
that.
don't want to talk. We don't
Julie Ciccolini,
Julie
her
Ciccolini.
8-pound tenderloin roast.
Yep.
We need to hear about this.
We were
This
out to
is-
dinner last night,
big
and they
time.
just so happened to show up at the same restaurant. And she said, "You have to talk about my 8-pound roast for Christmas Day."
So let's hear it.
Like
Is it
like
really
the
good?
sound equipment here at Good Morning Gloucester, Julie's she's been perfecting her roast on Christmas Day for the past several years, and she nailed it this year. It was absolutely
Ooh.
perfect. and she
What are you
did
gonna
a
do?
great job.
So yeah, what was it about it? Do you know her
It's the
technique?
temperature. It's the oven. It's
Yeah.
all about the oven. She was having some issues with her brand new oven. They just built a beautiful house, brand new house in Saugus, and she had this new oven, and for some reason, the temperature wasn't. She couldn't get the temperature perfect. So I said, go out and buy one of those thermometers that you hang inside the oven.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
what
you
I
can
use.
Check the temperature.
Right.
And then people read about cooking roast. They say, oh, cook it for 15 minutes a pound at 325. Put it up to 450, then turn it back down, then do this and do that. So this year she took the approach of just purely sticking a thermometer inside the roast, pulling it out at 135 degrees
That's it.
for a perfect medium,
I've said
and it was
I
to
have
die for.
I've maintained for years that you can get an incredible piece of meat, and if you miss it by 10 degrees, it's junk. Depending on how you like your meat.
Right.
And you take all the guesswork out. If you know what temperature or how rare you like your meat, there are guidelines.
No.
You follow the guidelines. It's foolproof. It's
Well,
literally foolproof.
And you're
It's
someone who
crazy
cooks
not to-
purely by temperature.
It's
That's
well
for the most part.
but depending on what type of meat. I mean, I don't have to cook certain kind like chicken thighs. I don't need to temp it. But like brisket or tenderloin or rib roast, like at 135, you get a pink center,
Right.
edge to edge.
135 is the temperature if
That's
you like
the temp-
medium.
that's-
If you like medium well, it's 140.
Paul
145.
Gamber
If you like-
Jr. is
what if-
wondering if the roast was moist.
Yeah, what
It
if,
certainly was.
what if you like medium rare? Then what would you say?
Well, I like, medium rare. It'll be 125.
125.
Yeah,
So it's just like a
120.
five.
Yeah, it's pretty much in
degree.
5 degree.
Degree difference.
125 is medium rare. It's like actually 125 is rare, right?
125 is rare.
Rare.
Yeah,
130 is
135
medium rare.
135 is medium rare.
Yeah,
145 is more well.
but we
more
pulled it
well.
out at 135, and it was.
I need to say, Paul Gamber's wife also, Holly, gave the fish and chips from Briar Barn. Was it Briar Barn Inn?
It's Briar Barn Inn and then the Grove.
The Grove.
The Grove.
The
They just
Grove
call
is
it
the restaurant
There's
part?
the restaurant part.
Okay, so we got to put that on the.
They had
We'll
the
put
fish
that
and
on the
chips.
rotation.
Yeah, they said the fish and chips were phenomenal.
I've had the.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, I'll find out more about the hours because I think things are going to change in January. a little
Ask them
bit.
if they'd like to have us do a live stream
Live
from there
stream.
and serve us some food.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Because
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Sarah,
We have a lot of the places
schedule.
that are asking us to come in are starting to stack up. So if they need to get in the queue, they need to get in the queue.
Okay.
Yeah, how many do we have? How many
So-
live
so-
podcasts
we
do
have
we
a
have?
bunch.
So what day? Like any day that's.
This winter when I'm off on vacation, we're
Okay.
probably scheduled out to February right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's try to schedule them in the afternoons, not in the mornings during the week.
Oh,
If we could.
Well, the thing is, if I have my daughters, then that's not going to work because I have to pick them up from school.
Oh.
But I mean, but there's times when I don't have my daughters.
I have a
So-
job.
So when I talk to Briar,
have
should I
to.
just say sometime in February?
Just see if she wants to do it. If she
Oh,
wants
I'm
to do it, then we can we'll
I'm
work
sure-
on a schedule.
We
I'm
can
sure they
always
would
do a
love to do it.
nighttime one.
Yeah.
I'm sure
And,
they would love
and
to
the
do
only
it.
thing we need is good Wi-Fi.
Good Wi-Fi?
Good Wi-Fi.
Good
yeah.
Wi-Fi. We can live stream anyway.
So there's that.
But we have a few coming up.
Yeah, Kim, I want you to speak to your trip to York.
Oh, we had an awesome day. My daughter and I, she's really on Instagram, so she had Googled, found some Instagram things that she through Instagram things she wanted to see. One was this restaurant with buoy, with a shack with buoys on it, which wasn't even open. So we went there, and then we went to the Wiggly Bridge. I'm not sure if everybody knows what the Wiggly Bridge is, but it's at the entrance to a wildlife sanctuary, or like a conservation area. And then we found this amazing coffee shop called St. Joe's, and they say that they are the creator of Benny's. Well, I didn't realize Benny's was short for beignets, but it was the most amazing little pockets of fried dough doused in powdered sugar with, you could have, dipping sauce of chocolate or
Joe's and Benny's.
raspberry. And it was,
That
they
sounds
were,
like a drug deal.
the place
somewhere.
was so packed. It was just a non-stop steady stream of people coming in for
Is
coffee.
it right
and
in York?
It's right in York, right on Route 1, in like a, it looks like it was built in the 1950s. It's a charming, tiny little building. But they have places to sit down. People were there. It was just, young people, old people, just a steady stream, nonstop. It was very sweet. And then we went on to, we drove straight up to York and then just, mamby-pambied along the coast because we both love to like stop and look at things and get lost on back roads. We ended up at a new wildlife sanctuary that I'd never been to before, the Rachel Carson Wildlife Sanctuary. So there's 11 divisions of the Rachel Carson Wildlife Sanctuary. It's part of the it's part of U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Oh, okay.
So this one was, I forget the name of the little island that it was off of, but so we ended up there, and that was beautiful. We didn't see too much wildlife because it was kind of in the middle of the day where you're mostly going to see wildlife, early morning or at the end of the day. And then we ended up at Bob's Lobster, or they don't even call it Bob's Lobsters, it's Bob's on the causeway out to Plum Island. They have great lobster rolls there. That place was packed. It was we were talking about this earlier, it's so awesome to see so many people out enjoying the weather yesterday, like walking around, doing all kinds of fun things. And then that's when we ended up at Parker River and saw the beautiful hawk.
You had a full day, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't get home till 6 o'clock, but it was just a beautiful, fun, lots of fun pictures.
Did you talk about St. Joe's Coffee Shop?
We did, and it's actually I didn't mention that it's actually named after the Feast of St. Joseph. And the little beignets or the bennies that they make are from a little Italian pastry, which I can't remember the name of it, but I'll do a little post of it because Liv took a cute picture of the exterior of the building.
So there you go. Were you done with that segment?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to mention the Patriots spread is 16.5.
16?
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a big
I'd stay away from that one. I would not take the Patriots in 16.
I would stay away from it too because Miami always plays them tough. The only thing I think they're probably factoring in is Miami has nothing to play for.
Well, they have nothing to play for, and they've never won in Gillette, I don't believe.
Well, they don't have to win.
Yeah.
16.5 points.
Yeah, but still, when teams don't have to win, they like to make a statement.
I think that there's these are the factors as far as I'm concerned. These are the factors. The factors to me are that the Patriots need to get their offense clicking, so they're going to use this game to really build confidence in those receivers, and so they're going to put the pedal down.
Who's on the IR?
I don't know. But the Miami has nothing to play for. They have.
I still wouldn't take the Patriots in 16.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't bet it either. I mean, I would not bet it.
I'd take the Patriots definitely to win, but I wouldn't take the spread.
So is this? I'm sorry to be not knowing, but is this to play the Super Bowl?
No.
They're heading down that road.
They're heading down that road.
No, there's a lot. There's a whole month of football
left to go. Okay.
Before we just see who.
Yeah, there's a month.
Okay.
A month of football. Well, there's a month and a week. Yeah.
Are the Patriots like they've been?
So the Patriots, they're in the running.
They're in the running. Okay.
But there's a lot of good teams with very good records. I think in the AFC, I think there's 3 teams 12-3 or something like that.
But we have
we need that bye.
So if we win, if we win today, we get a first round bye in the playoffs. There would be 3 games to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The Patriots would avoid one of those games.
Oh, okay.
The top 2 teams in each league, the AFC and the NFC, get buys.
Okay.
So they
don't have to do that.
And just mathematically speaking, like not having to play one game and the 50% odds or whatever it is to get eliminated greatly enhances your chance of going.
And this is why we need to have my son Michael on, because he knows a lot about sports. But the 2 best teams in the NFL, I think there's 3. I think it's the Ravens, the 49ers, and the Saints. I think the Saints this year.
I think the Ravens.
I think the Saints this year are going to win the Super Bowl.
I want to hear from Paul Gamber who he thinks. I think because Paul Gamber was a football player. BU, he played for BU.
That's my pick is the Saints because last year they got screwed royally.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they deserve it.
No.
The thing is, when you say 16.5, I'm thinking, Pats 27, Miami 10, and I don't think we can score 27. So Miami may score 10, but I don't think we can score 27.
No, there's no
so
secret that the Patriots'
it's not
problem
gonna
this year
happen.
is their offense. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just the
So-
defense is fantastic, but their offense is just not non-existent. But in any event,
Yeah.
it's not a sports talk.
No. Well, it can be.
Well, we had a minute.
We can talk
It's,
sports.
we had a
Let's do
minute.
whatever
it's,
we're in.
it's very diverse.
We
So
need to
right
schedule
now-
Michael DiGiorgio on the show.
So right now,
Simon.
it's perfect time, and we're gonna wrap up the podcast. But what I'd like to say is, it's a great time to go to Feather and Wedge, friends of ours, Feather and Wedge. Kate and I will be going there for New Year's Eve for dinner, and we're looking forward to having our dinner there. Feather and Wedge has an awesome Sunday brunch with all kinds of great stuff.
So the decade is up, Joey.
The decade is up. That's it.
And this is the last podcast of the decade, right?
Yeah.
Gee.
I'd say there's a 95% chance this is the last podcast
Yeah.
of the decade.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the last one I'm going to be on.
that blows your mind a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, just thinking that we're
372.
ending a decade.
Yeah,
too.
I know. I didn't think of that. It's amazing.
372. So let's forecast 400. So
That's
say
28.
we do 1.5 per week.
Okay.
1.5 per week.
No, he's making the math
28, Ralph. 28.
Divided by
1.5.
1.5.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, but I just received a text from Kim saying that there was over 1,000, almost
So
1,000
half of it's
people
14.
have the Pete's Plunge.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
That's
So
extraordinary.
18 and a half weeks gets us to 400.
Okay.
So 18 and a half weeks is May.
Uh-oh,
We're looking at May.
I'm not here in May. We got to strategically plan this. I'm on vacation in May.
I could be honest with you. I could see us doing more than
It's
one.
going to
and a
be
half.
one.
I
Yeah,
could see us
think-
doing 2 a week, as long as Pat and Jimmy are around.
I think we should have a meeting
'Cause-
and schedule all our podcasts, put them on the calendar so we know exactly.
I'm-
I have travel plans, Joe.
I don't know why we don't have a meeting at some of these restaurants and everywhere else and just write this off.
We should.
We should have a board meeting.
We should do Good Morning Joe, can we apply for Good Morning Gloucester credit card?
There we go. That's what we
There we
need.
go.
He's serious right now.
I'm
He's
dead serious. I mean, you know,
I'm serious.
Oh.
See? Surrey is
serious.
serious as well.
Serious. Siri is very serious.
And don't call me
Good
Shirley.
Morning Gloucester credit card. Apply now.
I want to
What's
say,
in your wallet?
I know it's the end of
No,
the
you
decade.
can't use that.
Oh, okay.
We could say, what's in Joe's heated vest?
I know it's the end of the decade, but Ralph, thank you so much for working on getting these chairs. We got the cloths over the mics.
We got,
You've been saying it.
you got the
It's
mics.
all because of
Barry,
all because of Ralph.
So I want
All
to thank you
because-
for that.
All because
It was
of
my
Ralph.
working
Had
on
nothing
it.
to do with
All
Barry.
fucking-
or
all-
with-
I'm
I'm all
working.
about change.
All because
Joey.
of fucking Ralph.
I'm all
Joey,
about
I'm
change.
working on it.
And
He's
you
sitting
know,
next to me. Now I go over here. Pat, thank you very much
Can I
for
say
doing
one
all
thing?
that.
Can I say one thing? The one thing that Ralph did say he was going to do is get rid of the fucking old chairs, and they're still at the bottom of the bottom.
And
Did
I
say
said,
that,
what
I
I
remember.
said to you was, if we had a vehicle, I would find a place to take them.
Yes.
Okay.
And what did I say?
So
We got a place. Me and Jimmy will
Joe
get
offered
but
his
let me-
truck,
let
if
me-
I'm remembering correctly.
Thank you, Pat. Oh, Pat, coming to my. She calls him like she sees him. I like that.
I have no problem. I will find you a dumpster.
I'm giving you a
To
16
put and bring them.
point.
I'm sure
spread.
I have a dumpster on one of my construction sites that I can bring them to. I will work on that. But let me end by saying this. You know, there's 3 kinds of people in this world.
Oh, boy.
Okay. There's people that watch things happen. There's people that make things happen, and there are people that say, "What the f just happened?" Okay, I make things happen. Okay, you want to pick on me for that? Wanted the chairs, we got the chairs, the microphones. You won the microphones. Jim got the microphones. You need us on that wall, Joe. Okay, this might be the Joey Ciaramitaro Good Morning Gloucester. I started this all, but you know what? You want to be successful, Joe? You surround yourself with successful people. Okay.
I was working around the table, going to the top one, and I was going to Pat next, and I was going to say, thank you for taking over all that typing because I can't keep up.
You don't want it to
And
be
you
out.
have that, Kim, thank you for all your patience on sitting over in the corner. And
Surrounded by
and this
wires
week,
and
congratulations,
legs.
nothing fell when you walked over there. So this is very
We're
important.
not done
And
yet.
of course, Joey,
Joey.
with all your artwork and your show and everything, you turned that money around and said, I'm going to put it back into the podcast. So why wouldn't we go out and do all this stuff to help a guy that wants to do that?
Oh,
I am done with the pedestal.
I have to thank Kim, because Kim gave me a very generous Christmas present, and I used it last night at iPosit, the money at iPosit. Yeah. Well, you said use it for takeout cake for dinner.
I said use it for Mike's.
I told you I was not going to use it for the mics. That was my responsibility. But I told you I would use it for dinner with cake, which is exactly what I did.
I'm glad you did that.
Thank you so much. All right, that's GloucesterCast 372. I think it was successful. If everybody wants to chime in with rating the audio and telling us what we could do better next week, we're welcome for. We love the feedback. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to stop streaming. I'm going to stop recording. And I'm going to go over here. And I'll take care of it.